All right, we've got a ton of mail. I know that you could see it. It's right there in front of you. I have a massive mail day where we're going to talk about what I'm buying. These are Kaldheim specs. People are interested. Hey, Jake, what cards are you buying? This is it. I'm all in. I'm done buying cards from Kaldheim. The only other stuff I'm going to be picking up is for my collection. We're going to focus on 4 cards that I've specifically targeted, and then there's some other stuff in here. There's reserve list, there's standard stuff, there's gold border. Video starts right now.
Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below.
Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. I'm Jake. Hello, welcome to another episode of Jake and Joel Magic. Today we're going through a massive amount of mail, mostly cards that I've been buying shortly after pre-release in Kaldheim. Before it gets to the end of February and too much time has passed, these are specs and stuff and gold border cards. There's some reserve list stuff in here. There's stuff that I'm adding to my collection. There's stuff that I bought with the specific intention of reselling if you like talking about the dirty, evil, terrible MTG Finance. Click like and subscribe. That's a great way to support the channel. If you like Jake and Joel Magic, head on over to Patreon. We already showed that in the beginning. There's so much mail to go through and we need to get into it now. All right, so I do have prices here. I'm not going to be going over on eBay. We're going to try to save some time. Let's just move some stuff over. We've got so many cards to go through. Let's get these big packages out of the way first. All right, and these are just going to be some Mystic Reflections. There's going to be some Card Kingdom orders here. I'm just going to get all this stuff out. 4 regular Mystics. 8 Rise of the Dread Marn. All right, so I'm going to talk about these cards briefly now. I really like Mystic Reflection just because it's a great reactionary spell, and it's also the kind of card that you can combo out with. There's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with this card, and even if you don't foretell it, a nice little trick in the back pocket when your opponent casts their big commander or some huge hex-proof target, and then you just target some little innocuous mana dork on the battlefield, and now their commander enters as that. I really like this card for a couple different reasons. I think it's great. I think it has a lot of potential. And then Rise of the Dread Marn is a card that I think that people are really sleeping on right now. Just being able to get the most out of a board wipe afterwards, whether it's a sideboard card or not, yet to be proven. I think there's a lot of value here. All right, next. All right, we got some more Mystics. These ones are going to be different. Let's get these out of here. All right, so we got an extended here. We've got a couple foils. I'm just going to go ahead and make a couple different piles. Weird how these ended up in here. These are a couple extended foils. We'll go ahead and set those here to the side as well. Everybody's going to be like, oh, so that's where the Mystic Reflections went. We got 3 regular extendeds here. We'll just set those. There we go. We got a regular extended pile going on. Get this out of the way. Now, this is just going to be like, there's going to be some stuff in here for my collection, but there's also going to be some random specs in here as well, I believe. So here we have some Firha's Retribution. I actually spec'd this. I think that this card has a lot of potential. I got these at, I think, 39 cents a piece. Not really I mean, it is a spec, but it's not it's really just like, maybe it'll do something. I actually really like these other cards. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Mystics here. Oh no, 8. Okay, yeah, that's correct. We'll just put those up there. And then again, we have some more Rise of the Dread Marn here. I believe this is 8 as well. So on these Mystic Reflections, just so you know, and I'm not going to go into all the prices, but what you should know is that most of these regulars that I bought here, these were all bought early on between $1.49 and 4 of them were bought at $4.49. The highest I paid for a Mystic Reflection was $8 for a regular copy. I bought 2 at $8. The lowest I paid was $1.49, like I already said. All of these extendeds, now that we have them all out here, the foils were purchased at around 4 a piece. The foil extendeds were all purchased between anywhere from 10 to as high as 2 at 17. So a little bit overpaid on that. You're going to see there's a lot more, though, to come. So let's just keep this going. All of these Rise of the Dread Marns here were all purchased between $1.49 and $1.99. There were 8 purchased at $1.99. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we do have a little bit of reserve list. This is just going into my collection. Copy artifact. I do not have a copy of this card. This should be in a nice played condition. Yep, it is. There's a little bit of a dent up there at the top, but I don't care. It's nice sleeve playable copy of a card that I don't have. Copy artifact. Got in at this at $77.99 after shipping. Emerson Predator. This was purchased at, I think, around $2. Extended. Just for my collection. It's a card that I think is kind of cool. Foil extended Rise of the Dread Marn. So this is one of our specs. All of these foil extended Rise of the Dread Marns that you're going to see, these were all purchased. Let's move this down. These were all purchased at around like $4 to $5 at the highest. Are there 2 in there? No, just 1. All right, so we put that there. Got a couple Maskwood Nexus. This is another one of our specs here. These Maskwoods, 3 of these that you're going to see in this video were purchased at around 8 a piece. The rest of them have been lower than that, but we do have extended foil Maskwood and another extended foil Maskwood. This is just really good with Changeling and with the D&D set coming out in the future. I think that Maskwood Nexus is going to be one of these cards that really pops off, and I want to have these blinging extended foil versions of these cards that I think are going to do big things in Commander. We got more Mystic Reflections here, extendeds this time. We do have 2 of them. We'll just go ahead and set those here. This is interesting. Okay, so we have a couple little interesting things here in this one. We have some Dream Devourers, which again, this is an interesting card that I'm just buying, not so much speccing this, but just adding these to my collection, just these regular extendeds. Each non-land card in your hand without Foretell has Foretell. Its Foretell cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 2. So really easy way to get a lot of stuff out of your hand. And if you're playing against wheels, this card can be really valuable because you can just kind of foretell away all the cards in your hand. Interesting card. I really like this. And then also you'll see over here a near mint gold border metalworker. I don't have a regular copy of a metalworker, and these gold border cards are getting bought out rapidly. So I'm getting some of these important reserve list cards. We'll set that to the side here. And then also 2 more Dream Devourer in there. Those Dream Devourers, this Metal Worker, those extended Dream Devourers were 4 of those for $15.29 for the playset. And then also that Gold Border Metal Worker was purchased at kind of a high price of $34. I do find more of those for a better price. Let's keep this going. We have extended Rise here. Let's see. It looks like a couple copies, couple extendeds. After this video, I'm going to make sure to get all these foils very quickly into sleeves and then into binders. You find Doomscar. This is a card that I'm not speccing so much, but I wanted to make sure that I have my play set here. So you're not going to see a lot of copies of this card. This new Foretell mechanic yet to be proven how good it is. But being able to foretell that away and then destroy all creatures for 2 white and 1 other is pretty good. Another foil extended Mystic. Let's make sure this is just 1 card here. Some of these get sent with multiples. I just want to make sure of what I have. That Doomscar that we just talked about, purchased at $5.42 for that extended. Yep, just 1 extended Mystic here. Yep, nice, near mint. Go ahead and put that in our pile. Again, all those Mystic extendeds all purchased anywhere between 10, the foils all purchased between 10 to 14. We find Maskwood Nexuses here. This was packaged in an interesting way. Let's see how many we have. Yeah, 4 foil Maskwoods. These 4 foil Maskwoods were all purchased at $15.72 total. So definitely taken a little bit of loss on the Maskwoods so far, which is something that I'm, definitely willing to recognize and own. Let's see what we got here. What do we have in here? Oh, okay. So this is another card that's kind of related to Maskwood Nexus, but I actually started buying these Suleiman's Legacies for very cheap at around like $2 to $3 a piece. If you have so much Changeling that's going to be pushed, when Suleiman's Legacy comes into play, bury all Djinns and Ifrits or Efrits. Whenever a Djinn or Efrit comes into play, bury it. So if everything has Changeling, this is a really neat, interesting little lock, isn't it? Now, Maskwood Nexus is just like the first step in this direction. You would have to actually donate the Maskwood Nexus to your opponent and then play the Suleiman's Legacy for a really interesting lock against certain players. But yeah, just something to think about. These reserve list cards that are very cheap, they're starting to really pop off right now. And you don't want to be late to this party. Suleiman's Legacy, actually, as of today, has started taking a little bit of an uptick that we've seen in just simply because it's reserve list. Let's set those to the side here. And that is one of the specs in the video. That was purchased in response to all of the changeling that we saw going on in Kaldheim. Here we have a near mint Suleiman's Legacy. This is an interesting way to do packaging. We'll go ahead and get this out of here. This is very neat, but not kind of overkill a little bit. The presentation of it. Ooh, what do we got? A couple in there? Oh yeah, a couple more Suleiman's Legacies. We'll set those to the side as well. I'm going to go through those and find the ones that actually look near mint and set them to the side. But what you should know about those jank reserve list cards is when they spike, make sure to sell. These are just a couple extra Praetor's Grasps. You know, I played in New Phyrexia. I started playing a lot around then, but I only have one Praetor's Grasp in an EDH deck. I figured I'd pick up a couple extras. This is a really nice CEDH playable card. I really like Praetor's Grasp. Not a spec there again, where I'm like, you know what? I just want to pick up a couple extra copies of this. We do have one of our specs here, Extended Foil Mystic. Let's get that out. Just so everybody knows, I should have said this at the top of the video, but don't go out and do what I'm doing. I just have people that ask me. They're like, Jake, what are you buying right now, man? What are you interested in? What cards are you looking at? That's why I'm making this video. If you don't like these videos, just go find a different video. Here we go. We got Rise of the Dread Marn extended foil. Let's get that out of there. Another one of our extendeds here. And then also make sure to save your top loaders. If you're buying a lot of cards right now, make sure to save your top loaders because these top loaders are actually very, very valuable right now. Got a couple more Mystic Reflections, this time a regular extended and a regular foil. Another Mystic here. He bought all the Mystic Reflections. What gives? Well, sadly, I'm allowed to spend my money however I want. That's how it works. Well, get it out of there. Just got to make sure because there's so much mail here. We have to make sure there's only one card. All right, that's another extended foil. And I should say this as well. The Suleiman's Legacies, those were all purchased at like 4 of them purchased at $10 total, $289. All in on these Suleiman's Legacies, I'm only at all in $31.82. Got a couple more Mystics here. It looks like these ones look to be the extended regular. The tape over the top, man. It's a regular extended. We'll set that here. We're going to get through this mail. Oh, Blood Sky Massacre. I just like this card. I only got one. It's just for my collection. I opened one Kaldheim collector box and then I was like, you know what? I think I'm done on this. I'll buy the cards that I want. I'll buy the cards that I think are going to go up in price based on just organic demand and time. People will figure it out in time. We got 2 regular Mystic Reflections here. We'll set these over here. I have to go through all this mail beforehand. So to the guy who's going to jump in there and be like, he acts like he hasn't seen the cards. He's seen them. Just put yourself on blast again. Go down there, scream some weird words into the sky, wave your fists. I've heard it all. We got another extended Rise of the Dread Marn here. Extended foil Dream Devourer. So there's going to be a few of these that pop up again. These are just for my collection, not so much specking this card, but I do think it has some potential. That extended foil around $5 for that purchase. Extended Mystics here. And then after these cards here that you see today, I'm done with this set. And as these cards spike, if they move, if they have some very real movement, obviously the move is to sell them. And you have to think, there's like cards like Aetherflux Reservoir. Like this is a card that took a long time to really take off in EDH. And you have to look out for that kind of thing too. All right, we got some gold borders. It just takes time with these specs. It took a very long time for SRAM Senior Edificer to take off. How do I get them out? Why? And then we got 4 near mint gold border metalworker here. This is for the collection, but also kind of a spec. But these reserve list cards, gold border or not, they are going up. And they are finite. They're not coming back in any kind of capacity. Pick them up while you can. Or try to resist the FOMO. That's definitely a play too. We got Maskwood Nexus. Another little Maskwood Nexus, part of our Maskwood specs. This is just a regular extended. This would have been purchased at around $2. $2.50. So I actually paid less for the extended here during pre-release and stuff than I did for some of these regular Maskwood Nexuses that were purchased on Star City Games. These we should probably just go ahead and add in. These were from the previous video, but these are play sets of each of these cards. Some rises. These were all purchased at $1.99 or $1.49. These Maskwood Nexuses, these are play sets as well, and then some more Mystic Reflections. We'll go ahead and just set these to the side, but you do need to be aware of these because these were in a previous what I'm buying, and they are definitely part of these specs, because as we get to the end of the video, I'm going to let you know I have a screenshot to share with you that just kind of shows my all-in. We'll go ahead and bring it up. We could just bring it up on the left there so that you can see. We are winding down on mail. This is another $5 foil Dream Devourer here. We have another Suleiman's Legacy. This looks like a near mint copy. That is a spec. Part of these specs, these changelings that have been announced. Let's see what we got in here. Yep, another Suleiman's Legacy that was, I guess, sent between some other random cards. We'll set that to the side. Extended Dream Devourer. So we'll just move this rise over here just so that the folks can see as we look at this last little bit of mail that Suleiman's Legacy is actually part of these specs. I think I bought anywhere between 15 to 20 copies of Suleiman's Legacy, all between $2 to, I believe, the highest I paid was $6 for a near mint copy. I bought 2 off TCG Player for $6 near mint. Yep, another playset. These are just played. I think I got this played playset of these for $6 is what I'm looking at. $6.20. Ah, yes. This one all wrapped up. I actually like this. If you don't have top loaders, just take some nice cardstock, even like a cereal box and some painter's tape like this guy did it. That's a nice way to send a card in a nice protected way. Mystic Reflection, another extended here. Another copy of Suleiman's Legacy. All right, little medium play gold border Grim here. This would have been purchased at $21.89. Nice little beat up copy, but again, reserve list card. There we go. Gold border Grim. Nice beat up copy. Set that up there with the gold border metalworkers. And then finally, a natural selection. This is just the collector edition here. Also gold border in kind of a way, but I don't have a copy of this card and it's seen a little bit of an uptick. So I just went ahead and purchased this one for myself. So let's talk about this screenshot that I shared before we close out the video. So right now I am all in on these specs for $531.30, but specifically those are the Maskwood Nexuses, the Mystic Reflections, the Rise of the Dread Marns, and the Suleiman's Legacies. So that $531.30 does not include any of this stuff. It does not include this stuff. It does not include this natural selection here. That is all money that we're not tracking. That is just towards stuff that I bought for my collection. I don't really have an intention on selling it anytime soon, but all this other stuff, all these Mystic Reflections, these Rise of the Dread Marns, these Maskwood Nexuses, these Suleiman's Legacies, yeah, this is all what I'm focused on right now, what I have been buying in response to Kaldheim. Some people ask me about this stuff. That's why I'm making this video. So where do we go from here? Well, as this stuff spikes, like right now, Suleiman's Legacy is kind of taking off on the secondary market. I'm going to probably go ahead and move these cards. Like right now, I'm going to save myself a near mint playset, and then I'm going to move the other ones on the secondary market, recoup some of my investment right here on these cards. Rise of the Dread Marn looks like it's going to take a little bit of time to take off. It's not exactly explosive right out the gate, but I still think there's potential in this card. I think this is the kind of card that has a lot of value as far as mana efficiency, as far as getting the most post board wipe, and you can set it up in such a way where you can really profit from this. If you build this into some sort of aristocrats kind of thing, or, you know, I've been having some fun in Historic playing this card alongside Cat Oven. I think that this card has some legs. And then Maskwood Nexus. This is another card. As D&D comes out, these changeling type effects. I mean, think about how Maskwood Nexus plays with the party mechanic. Everything is all creature types. I mean, that seems really, really good. And then it also creates tokens. So I think long-term in EDH, this card has potential, and then also in standard, where the formats are a little bit slower. I think it has potential there too. And then finally, Mystic Reflection, easily my favorite card from the set. Just 100% favorite card from the set. Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time one or more creatures or planeswalkers enter the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies of the chosen creature with Foretell. Super mana efficient spell. It works as a pseudo counter spell. It's a nice combo card if you set up something crazy with like Avenger or Zendikar. You can turn off a commander. Anyway, I'm Jake with Jake and Joler Magic. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm a degenerate. I'm tapped out.